Good morning, Boston Sports Nation. Good morning, Celtic fans. Good morning, Bruin fans. What's going on, guys? What's up? So, once again, we are faced with the disappointment of an early end to the Bruins season. And once again, just like last year, they just simply run into a better team. Florida was the better team. They were more talented, better coached, just all around in every aspect of the game, they were better. They wanted it more. This team just simply doesn't, simply put, doesn't have enough. They need more. Montgomery did okay. I don't want to put a lot of it on the coach. I mean, I feel like he did the right thing in staying with Swayman for the majority of the series. I feel like for the most part, Montgomery made some pretty good decisions during their playoff run. It's just blatantly obvious that they need to get better. There's a lot of hard decisions that are going to be made this offseason for the Bruins. They have got to get better. They've got to get better. They don't have enough talent. They have some. Most of their guys are mid level, mid tier. If they want to win a cup, they're going to have to be able to beat teams like Florida and teams of that caliber. The Panthers have slowly built that team up into what it is for probably about 4 years. It's they're a good team. They're a very good team, and the Bruins just, like I said, simply put, they don't have enough. They don't have enough to compete with. Oh, no, they don't have enough talent from from line one to line four to compete with these teams. That there's a lot of tough decisions that are going to have to be made about this team. If they want to win a cup, they're probably going to have to make some serious sacrifices, and the team may look very, very different. Do we keep guys like Jake DeBrusk? Will they re-sign him? Will they resign? Will they keep guys like Charlie Coyle, Morgan Geeky, like some of these guys that are kind of just like the grunts and the, you know, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of decisions that are going to have to be made, and the Bruins are probably going to look very different. I hear you, Nathan. There's definitely a lot of potential there. I hope the Patriots live up to the hype. That's what I'll say. I hope they live up to the hype. I think a lot of those guys are fit well within the system, and I hope Gerard and company can coach them up well, and they have a good season. But just this Bruins team could look very, very different. Even guys like David Pastrnak, if we could get the right if we get the right offer for him, does do we get rid of him? Well, I mean, if I'm Bruins upper management, I'd be open to anything. And Cam Neely and Don Sweeney have got to take a very, very hard look at this team, and a hard look at the way they've run it for the last 4 years. They might have to switch up how they're doing things, because this team is a regular season team. They are the Philip Rivers of the NHL right now. They are the Philip Rivers of the NHL right now. Phenomenal regular season, but they have a lot of guys who kind of shit the bed in the postseason, and they turtle and they don't really produce. I mean, they've got to find a way to change that. And if that's trading guys away to replace guys that can perform in the playoffs, then so be it. I want to see the Bruins win another cup. I want to see that. I've only seen one Stanley Cup. They've had more than enough opportunities to win one too, and they've fallen short. The opportunity has been there probably about 4 times to win a cup, and they've fallen short. And that's, I mean, you can only make excuses for so long before you go, the team's just not good enough, and they have to do something to get better. And the hard decisions and the hard conversations aren't just going to be for players. I mean, how long has Cam Neely and Don Sweeney been here? And how many opportunities are we going to give them? And how many times are we going to let them off the hook for falling short? How many opportunities or how many times are we going to let them off the hook? It's you. At some point, you got to take a hard look at them too and say, what are you guys doing? What have you done to kind of break the cycle of us falling short in the playoffs? What have you guys done? Are you putting together the best team possible, or are we gonna take a look at your job and maybe you need to be replaced? I think Neely and Sweeney have flown below the radar and have kind of been let off the hook a lot. They're the constructors of this team. They're the ones that, upper management puts the team together. They're the ones that set the budget. They're the ones that decide who they want to pay, how much they want to pay. Look at the Jacobs family too. The owners of this team. You at some point you got to look at upper management and say, what are you guys doing to make this team better? And if you're not, you need to get out of your. We need to get them out of their positions and put people in there that will make the hard decisions. That I mean, if you have to trade a fan favorite to get 3 guys that can help contribute in the playoffs, it's a hard decision, but sometimes you have to do it. And if upper management's not willing to do that, and I will say this, I feel like the upper management of the Bruins has overhyped their players for a long time. A long time. Bergeron, Marchand, and Chara were never the top at their positions. Were they very good scheme fit guys, and were they very, very solid players and probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame? Bergeron and Chara are probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Chara definitely. But they were never the best at their position. At some point, we have to take a look at upper management and just say, what are you guys doing? Are you doing the best job you can to put the best team together to win us a Stanley Cup? And if you're not, then we need to find somebody that will. Don Sweeney and Cam Neely need to be held to the fire. Somebody needs to put their feet to the fire and hold them accountable for these last, I don't know, probably 6 years. They've had multiple opportunities, and the way their playoff schedule was set up, they should have won at least one cup. They should have won at least one cup in the last 6 years. With the way the schedule fell and with the way the competition was, they've disappointed. They've disappointed. I mean, when are we gonna have those conversations? I know that's not gonna be fun. Everybody loves Cam Neely here, but what is he and Sweeney done? You know, you need to put players on this team that can perform in the playoffs in high pressure situations. It's that simple. I mean, sorry, not sorry. The bar here in this town is set high. It's set very high. Our expectations are playoffs at the minimum. The bar here in this town is set high. The expectations are set high. And if you don't meet those, you should get held to the fire and held accountable for where the team is. The Bruins, the facts of the matter are the Bruins should have at least one Stanley Cup in these last 6 years. With the way the schedule's fallen and the way that the position that they've been put in, they should have at least one. There's no excuse. The talent has been there for them to at least have won one. Disappointing would be the word I would describe that the season's over. Disappointed. I'm disappointed. They were playing with house money this year. I know they were in a rough spot money wise, and they were in a cap wise. They were not in a good spot, and I know with the team on the ice, not a lot of people expected them to kind of do as well as they did. So they were playing with house money. I get that. Um, so I wouldn't call it a complete failure, but at the same time, they should have done better. They should have done better. But the Celtics, let's move it on. Let's move it on to some basketball, guys. The NBA Celtics move on. They handle business, and they will face the Pacers. They will face the Indiana Pacers, who have kind of had their number. Eastern Conference Finals for the Celtics, and if they don't win the title, it's going to be a failure. That their path to banner number 18 has been set up for them. If they can get past the Pacers, they should win the championship. And now I say that with some trepidation, but if they can get past Indiana, they should win the title. There should be there shouldn't be too much resistance for them once they get past Indiana. Their path to banner 18 has been set up. KP's still not playing. He is still KP's still not playing. They are still kind of being cautious with him, which I definitely agree. I would not play him until absolutely necessary. I don't think we're going to need him to take care of Indiana. So I would sit him out through the Eastern Conference Finals and save him for the championship run. That would be my play if I was the Celtics. I would not rush KP back onto the court at all. I don't think we're going to need him to beat Indiana. I think the rest of the team can handle business as long as JT, Jalen Brown, and Derek White can kind of just maintain what they've been producing. I think we should be fine without him. And I'm 100% on board with them being very cautious with him and not pushing the envelope and kind of pushing him to come back. I would I would I would I would save him for the finals. Yes, good game, Bondi. Good game. But I would not mess with Porzingis. I would let him rest. I would make sure that he's 100% because we are going to need White, KP, Tatum, and Brown all at 100% to handle business in the finals. Those four guys we are going to need to win us banner 18. They need to be healthy. They need to be ready to go. And 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 I don't think we should mess with. I don't realistically think we should mess with anything with them unless absolutely necessary. And right now we're not going to need. Right now we're not going to need. Uh, at least in my opinion, we are not going to need Porzingis to help us get past Indiana. I, 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 I don't think we're going to need KP to help us get past the Pacers. So, like I said before, I'm 100% on board with them resting him and resting him and keeping him on the bench until he is ready to rock in the finals. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'd be curious to know what you guys think in the comments or in the live chat. Would you bring back Porzingis if he was ready, or would you rather save him for the finals? Because that's where I'm sitting at. I don't want to mess with KP unless I absolutely positively have to. I don't think we're going to need him, and I think I think we're going to be okay without him. They should be able to handle business. Uh, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum should be able to take care of business and knock off Indiana without Porzingis' help. Morning, Daniel. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Celtics Timberwolves as well. That would be my prediction. That would be my prediction, and it's going to be tough. The Timberwolves play very, very good defense. They do not mess around on D. They are a very, very solid team. I do think it's going to be a challenge, but for me, I the way this playoffs has been laid out, I would fully expect Banner 18 to be coming back to Boston. I would fully expect Banner number 18, as long as Porzingis is healthy and you get a pretty consistent production out of Brown, Tatum, White, and KP. I, I, I can't see the Timberwolves being able to beat this team in a 7 game series 4 times. I can't see it. I would fully expect Boston to win the title this year. And if they don't, in my opinion, it's an underachievement. Their path to the championship has been set up and laid out before them. As long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot and do anything real stupid, they should win Banner 18. As long as the Celtics don't do anything stupid and just play their style of basketball and play their game and not to take a page out of Bill Belichick's book, but just do their job. Do your job. Play your game. Play Celtic basketball, and Banner 18 should be coming home to Boston. Because I don't see the Timberwolves. Like I said, I don't see the Timberwolves beating this team in in a 7 game series 4 times. I don't see that. They might get 2 or 3, but 4, I doubt it. And the same thing with the Pacers. It might take 6 games to do it, but I think the Celtics are going to win that series as well. It's the Celtics' path to the championship has been laid out. They should win this year. There's realistically no excuses for them not to. 100%, Nathan. 100%. 100%. Yep. They could, but the path next year too. I mean, it's going to be kind of the same teams next year. So, as like I said, as long as their window is still there, the window for them is still there if they fall short this year. But just I don't see an easier path to Banner 18 than this. And the major players for them that have the major obstacles for them have kind of been taken out already. As long as they play their game, they should win this year And if they really want to push it and really want to try, their opportunity for a repeat is there as well. Because the Bucks are on the decline. The Warriors have been on the decline for a minute now. The you know, you name me these teams that are realistically going to be able to compete with the Celtics, and they should win. Their opportunity for titles is here now. As long, like I said, as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they should be okay. They should be just fine. Their title opportunities are here. This is it. Their window is here. They are in their championship window right now. So, in my opinion, they should take full advantage of what they are of the opportunity that we have right now, because I don't think we're going to see an opportunity like this for a while. We have a couple of years here where we could really do some damage. The Celtics could really do some damage here in the league and cement themselves as a very, very, very good team. This is uh this this is uh this is their opportunity. They have a window here to cement themselves as a force in this league. Their window is here, and they better take full advantage of it. But let's move it on to the Patriots. Just some news coming out of a little bit of Patriots talk here to end it, and then we will sign off and catch you guys later. But the Pats start their, or I believe they have started uh, their push towards the preseason. We're going to start seeing some OTAs here pretty soon. A lot of the guys have been in the building just familiarizing themselves with the team, the rookies. There's a lot of potential there. Hopefully, Drake May and Polk and some of these the Baker. Hopefully, the younger receivers can really blossom into something, and Drake May can step up and live up to the hype. The one thing I hope they don't do is just overhype him. I hope they don't raise everybody's expectations to something that's unrealistic, and then everybody, Pats Nation, get all pissed off when Drake May doesn't live up to it. I think the Patriots media department needs to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm with you, Nathan. Nathaniel, I'm with you. I wouldn't I wouldn't throw Drake May to the wolves. I would ease him into that starter position slowly. If anything, I'd want to see him sit for at the minimum a half a year. Some of these guys have got to learn the speed of the NFL. The game speed is a massive difference between college and the NFL. It's it's a massive, massive difference. And a lot of these guys, I feel like, get thrown to the wolves, and they have to learn on the fly. Some of them can handle it, some of them can't. It's definitely a thing. But I wouldn't start Drake May out of the gate. I would not do that. I would start uh, Jacoby Brissett, and I would let him take the reins of this team, and I would sit Drake May for probably at the minimum 10 games. At the minimum. Even if the team is struggling, I still wouldn't throw him out there. These guys need to sit and observe, and sometimes holding a clipboard for a year is not a bad thing. I think the potential for Drake May, though, is there. I think there's a lot of potential for him to be very, very good. The O line is still a problem, though, and judging from the reports, the Pats are still looking to improve that offensive line. So that's encouraging. That they are still, according to the reports, they are not done trying to improve the line. So I do like hearing that. I do like hearing. I do like hearing that they are not done trying to improve the offensive line, because to me that is one of the biggest weak spots on this team. There's nothing worse than having a rookie quarterback and having a bad offensive line in front of him. If you are gonna have your rookie quarterback start this year, which I don't technically agree with, but if you are gonna throw your rookie quarterback to the wolves and say, "All right, Drake, you are the starter," then you better have the best offensive line you can put out there in front of him. You better have the best offensive line you can put out in front of him. I don't want to see the Patriots keep making the same mistake over and over and over. You've got to fix the offensive line. It's been a weak point of this team. You need a left tackle. You need a left tackle. It's been the biggest need for 3 seasons now. We need a left tackle, somebody to anchor that side of the line. We have David Andrews back, which is nice. Offensive line has been the biggest need of this team for a minute. And I hope Elliott Wolf recognizes that, and I hope that he goes out and gets some offensive line depth and some starters, because throwing Drake May out there with the offensive line we have right now is not going to end well. It's plain and simple not going to end well. They can't do that. They cannot do that. They need a better offensive line. If they plan on starting Drake May game 1 or game 2 or inside the first 4 games, then you better fix this offensive line. That should be priority number 1 for you. You want to throw Drake out there in the first 4 games and say, "Here you go, kid," and give him the keys. Then you better have people in place that can protect him. Or you know what? Drake May's going to end up like Mac Jones. Happy feet, bad decision making, and you're going to ruin him too. So they better learn from their mistakes and fix this offensive line. But like I said, reports coming out that Elliott Wolf and company are not done addressing the offense, in particular the offensive line, and I believe they're going after one other receiver, which is also good to see. But that's all I got for you guys today. About a half hour again. That's probably what we're going to keep these live streams to. 30 minutes or under, somewhere between 20 and 30. Let's go Celtics. Hopefully we can raise banner 18, guys, and that would be nice. If we do win the championship, I will be live from the victory parade. I'll be taking you guys along, so if you're out of market, you'll be able to see the victory parade. But hopefully we get to see one. We haven't had a duck boat championship parade here in a minute. Hopefully the Celtics can get it done, and we get to raise banner 18. But go Seas! And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys, and I will talk to y'all soon.